Hey everybody, welcome back. For those of you who I don't know yet, my name is Sarah Otto-Combs and I am an Ayurvedic practitioner as well as the founder of Siddha Labs. So today we are going to talk about a really important topic, namely what your Yoni is trying to tell you. And this is so important because while we are familiar with what it means when you're hungry or what it means when you're tired and what to do, there is a huge gap in our education of what our body is telling us beyond that. And that's just kind of an unfortunate side effect of this culture. We have a lot of reliance on Western medicine, pharmaceuticals, poisons, in my opinion, and very little understanding of how to actually manage our own health conditions because we don't understand what we're doing to cause them. And the truth is that 95% of your health concerns are caused by something you're doing every single day, whether you're aware of it or not. And there's a good chance you think you're being healthy. Or maybe you don't even think you're healthy and you're like, nah, I know I eat like shit. Whatever it is, I want to help empower you with the knowledge you need to interpret the analytics of your organism. And women's health, especially vaginal health, is an excellent place to start. Why? Well, because the state of your yoni is actually reflective of the deeper current of health of your body. So it's very rare that we only have a condition that is purely localized to the yoni, and many of the common conditions are in fact what I mentioned. They are a symptom of a deeper root cause that's happening in your whole body, and your yoni, your vagina, for whatever reason there's a weakness there. That's where it's expressing. So we're going to take a deeper look at these two very common conditions and start to understand why they happen and what you can actually do to treat them. And I also want to preface this by saying, this is about women's health, but I invite men to join the conversation as well, to participate and watch this video, because men are in relationship with women in many shapes and forms. And it's always helpful if we can gain some insights and perspectives into what is happening to those close to us. So let's dive right in. So what is your body telling you when you have a dry yoni? When dryness is a condition you are battling? Well, there are a couple things it could be telling you. And the first very obvious or easier factor to understand is that you are probably dehydrated on a cellular level. Now, let me back up a minute and explain that your vaginal lubrication, from the Ayurvedic perspective, is intimately connected to not only your overall hydration, but your plasma fluid. We have a broader definition in Ayurveda than just plasma fluid for what we call rasa. And rasa really informs the menstrual cycle, but it's the lining of things, the mucosal lining of everything, as well as that carrier of nutrition that transports our RBCs. And when this is depleted and dehydrated, you're gonna feel it in your vagina, because that is what is informing its lubrication. So if that is you can address this locally through lube, but a more effective holistic approach is to look at your diet and lifestyle. Now, if you are eating dry foods, you're living in a desert, and you tend to be dry anyways, you're going to have to do some extra work to kind of juice everything up. And some excellent recommendations I have for you are to employ the use of coconut water regularly. Like, this stuff is so deeply hydrating. Make sure it's organic. I really like the fresh stuff. There's that like in the raw, I forget what it's called. It's kind of pricey, but now they have like a Trader Joe's version that's cheaper and very similar. Get that, drink that regularly. And then make sure you're cooking your food, that it's moist, it's well spiced, it's juicy, because if you want to be juicy, you have to eat juicy things. See, as we age, what's increasing in the body is what we call vata dosha. Vata is made up of air and ether, and those are dry, right? Like air is dry. It just is. And so we have to manage the dryness in our bodies more and more. And another very effective practice you can employ is doing self-oil massage regularly. Oh my God, this makes such a difference. And my last little cheat secret that I do, I take some oil, some olive oil, and I mix it with my lotion 50-50, and I apply that at night, and I will feel immensely hydrated the next day. So these are some of the steps you can take to try to treat that dryness from a bigger picture perspective, right? There's one caveat that I have, and that is if you have a condition of what is called ama. And ama is a name for like undigested toxins in the body. This stuff can line your GI tract, and what it will do if it's found there is actually block you from absorbing water and nutrients properly. So if you have dryness combined with the symptom of not sweating, like you never sweat even if you're really hot, then it's time to investigate that route, right? Really looking at, is there a white coating on my tongue? Checking these other symptoms like this. So those are some things you can do. Quick note, if dryness around sex is your major issue, I also just want to add that like foreplay doesn't just start when you're getting ready to have sex. Like intimacy is something you have to cultivate all the time. And if you only wait until right before you want to have sex, then it's a lot harder for your body to be ready. But if you're constantly priming yourself and your partner through tenderness, through affection, through compliments, right? Like foreplay should never end. Like it's ongoing. And those who understand that are going to have much more satisfying sexual relationships, and they're going to be juicier. Just saying. Okay, moving on to Candida, called yeast, right? A yeast infection. And if you have recurring yeast infections, especially right after your menstrual cycle, then this information is for you. Now, this is a pretty common problem that I see, and much like the dryness is related to a dry diet, a dry climate like this, that condition that creates the candida, that causes the yeast infection, is caused by diminished digestive capacity. What do I mean by that? So in Ayurveda, we say that your digestive capacity is called Agni. It's your fire, right? It's like where you cook and digest everything is in your belly. And think about when you have a campfire that's quite small, right? Like, or in a stove, wherever, you have little charcoal, a little bit. What do? You have to build that fire up before you put a big mass on it, right? Because if you just throw the log on that, what's going to happen? Well, just like the ends of the log will get charred, but it's not going to get fully digested, and you'll kind of have these like undigested chunks, right? This will be sitting in your stove. This same principle applies to your body when your digestive capacity is diminished. Basically, you will eat food that will not be fully digested, and that undigested sludgy stuff will coat your intestines and really start to impact your overall health. Now, remember how I told you rasa, or plasma fluid, informs your menstrual health and the menstrual cycle. What happens is that when you have this overgrowth, and why it's occurring after your cycle is this is the kapha part of your cycle. This is the time when your body is naturally building, and so there just is more kapha. So it's like there's a little more heavy quality in the body anyways, so it needs a better fire. And I totally forgot the next point I was going to make. But if you're seeing it around this time, don't just treat your condition by eliminating wheat, sugar, and doing all the candida things. And yes, you should do those things, but it's really important that you work on building up your digestive fire, because without that, you're just treating a symptom instead of looking at the root cause. So if you have candida, you've got a thick coating on the tongue, take a look. You'll see it. You'll be like, oh, damn, that looks weird. Then this is a good sign. You need to kindle your digestive system and cleanse, right? These need to happen in conjunction. So that's kind of a lot of information. I hope it was useful for you. I do want to add that there are herbal protocols you can use, herbal douches. And if you're interested in a more customized approach to managing some of these conditions, please reach out to me. I do take clients, and we can create a beautiful personalized protocol. Because as much as I want to help everybody, it's just impossible to do within the span of a 12 or 13 minute YouTube video. So reach out if you have any questions. And as always, please subscribe to this channel and find me on IG at Siddha Labs. And of course, check out my website. Buy my stuff because it's cool. All right, please let me know if you have any further questions and drop your comments below. Let's engage. Thank you so much for joining.